Hi everyone, welcome back to True Mamri. I hope you are all well by the grace of God. Thanks for clicking on this video. If this is your first time, my name is Mamri, a Ghanaian living in the UK. Let's go into this video. This video is about Wudimaya again with Plo Lumumba. I like this man, you can tell because I'll be showing some of his speeches on my channel. I like him not because I want to become a leader, but I want to learn more about Africa. Because what they teach us in the classroom is different, totally different when you listen to these people, how they speak and their experiences. So this video again is Wudimaya and Plo Lumumba. Please, the video is long. I will not talk too much. Just listen to him. I will leave the full video in the description. So it's about 20 minutes so you can watch. I want to say that videos like this need to go viral. It needs to get millions and if possible billions of views because it's history of Africa. I don't want to speak much, so let's go into it.
Loch Otieno Lumumba.
And are you related to
No, not at all.
Lumumba?
I'm not related to Patrice Emery Lumumba. I think our only relationship is that we share certain ideals, including the desire to have a united, peaceful, and prosperous Africa.
Do you think Africa will ever unite someday?
Yes, it will. But I'm not talking about the unity of the grave where there is no disagreement. I'm talking about unity on things that will improve the quality of our lives. I believe that Africans will trade more amongst themselves. I believe that Africa will have a language that is dominant which they use. I believe that Africans will begin to celebrate the diversity of their culture. I believe that Africans will decolonize their mind and Africans will look to Africa rather than to Europe and America as the magnets of development. That is my vision of unity.
Prof, we all know you to be a great orator. You got charming speeches out there. But we all want to know, what are you doing on the grounds about the things that you say out there? Because I literally listen to you from morning to evening. We want to know, what is Prof doing on the ground to change the face of Africa?
First of all, you will appreciate that we are present through the Plo Lumumba Foundation in 38 African countries and in 10 countries outside of the continent of Africa. We are active in education, we are active in health, we are active in agriculture, we are active in innovation and invention, we are collaborating mentorship programs which are energizing young Africans across the continent. So our words are wedded to our deeds. We do what we say. And there is evidence on the ground across countries in this continent.
And this is what I think so many people don't know.
Yes.
Because you don't show us what you're doing on the ground.
Of course, as we say, you don't advertise the things that you do. They speak for themselves in the fullness of time. When you see people shouting about what they are doing, it means they are doing very little.
So you all have heard Prof. Because this is the question that had a lot of likes, because everybody wanted to know, what is Prof doing? We keep on hearing his speeches and all that. But Prof, you are Kenyan.
Yes, indeed.
Have you ever thought of running for presidency?
I have thought of serving, and I'm serving in different ways. And I do not believe that running for the presidency is what defines one's contribution to one's country. In fact, you will note if you look at my walls, which you've now had the opportunity to look at, the people you see there are Patrice Emery Lumumba, who of course was a prime minister, but a reluctant one. You see Julius Kambarage Nyerere, who said that he was a teacher by passion and by design, and a politician by default. Kwame Nkrumah, a politician. Another, Nelson Mandela, a reluctant leader. Martin Luther King Jr., who held no office. Mahatma Gandhi, who held no office. But I believe that time will define how we choose to up the game in our activities in this continent. But I have never ever thought, and this is the problem with many Africans, the assumption that in order to serve, you must occupy office. This is a problem, and that is why there are so many conflicts in Africa, where people think that you've got to be a member of parliament, you've got to be a president, and that is why people kill each other to be presidents, and then they mess African countries. But people who do great things are doing them without the burden, right? We will not seek it.
Prof, talking about 21st century here in Africa right now, the talks of Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, and what do you call it?
Julius Nyerere.
Do you think that we have a Pan-African leader in Africa right now, and a Pan-African president at this very moment?
That is a question that is very, unfortunately, I cannot identify a single leader who has the passion of Nkrumah, who has the passion of Nyerere, who has the passion of Lumumba or the passion of Nelson Mandela. I don't see that leader. There are few leaders that I admire and I think are doing good things, but they are inward looking. If you listen to Kwame Nkrumah in 1958, you listen to Nyerere in 1963, 1997, you listen to Patrice Lumumba in 1961, you listen to Mandela in 1994, they are talking Africa. In other words, Africa is the main thing, and their countries are little components in that jigsaw. That leader of the presidents that are alive today, I don't think that there is any single one that is in that. No, I'm not.
Sadiq?
I'm not. And people are being impeded in terms of movement. You saw what happened between Nigeria and Ghana at the Seme border. Yeah. You are closing borders in a world that requires young men and women to move. And if you come to East Africa, the heads of states have been unable to meet. Instead, I see the president of Burundi celebrating that they have now been readmitted into the Francophonie. Can you believe it? In this day and age. So, and the African Union, of course, they used to say of its predecessor, the OAU, that it was a toothless bulldog. This one, I doubt even if it is a bulldog. That is the tragedy. And, I've quarreled with a young lady at the entry in Namibia when they are asking me for a visa, and a white man is passing. I've been denied entry in Zambia because they said I was a threat to the security of Zambia. I don't know how I can threaten the security of a country. So there is a sense in which I think that Africa needs to style up. I look forward to the day when a young Ghanaian will pick up his or her bag in Accra and ride a train and ride that train to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and the following week they are in Bangui in Central African Republic, and they are in Lusaka and Lilongwe, and they are looking for jobs without a work permit. It is doable because it is now happening in Europe. Europe, which went to war with each other in two tribal wars that they called the First World War and the Second, is the dedication of young people. I no longer have faith in the generations that have gone past. Even my generation, I no longer have faith in most of them. I think it is your generation that are going to apply the necessary pressure, and the remnants in the other generations will urge you on. The other generations will urge you on. Just look at the American election. You look at the intellectuals. They are expending so much energy giving you a blow-by-blow account in what is happening in American states. How does that matter? There is war in Ethiopia, they are not talking about it. There is war in Mozambique, they are not talking about it. There is an election in Tanzania, they are not talking about it. There is a forthcoming election in Uganda, they are not talking about it. There is a forthcoming election in Ghana, they do not know. Let me tell you, yesterday, which was the 6th day of November this year, I was at a restaurant and I told somebody I want to test if these young people who are high school graduates know African leaders. And I called 4 of them and I asked them, do you know the president of Burundi, which is in the East African region? None of them knew the president of Burundi, but they knew which American actor had eaten something the previous day. They knew which European footballer had scored. They knew what was happening in the vote count in Georgia. How can a continent in the 21st century be so full of ignorant people, and we expect that we are going to compete with the Chinese, with the Vietnamese, with the Japanese, with the Europeans and the Koreans in this age of information?